there's nothing quite like the smell of burning golems in the morning. Hello dudes and dudesses, and welcome to another chess video. I'm gonna make what's called the Danish gambit, and kidding, but it's a real thing. It is the Danish gambit. Look it up. Today we're gonna talk about this behind me, a new iron farm, and as you probably know if you're regular on this channel, I have made a lot of iron farms, but this is by far the newest. What sets this iron farm apart from many of the others I have built is that it moves the iron golems away from the spawning area upwards. Oh, just on cue. As you can see, it moves the iron golems 18 blocks away like this, so there's free down here for the villagers to spawn in new iron golems, and quite useful and fairly easy to build. It will get you rates, and I've been testing them for hours and hours and hours, is around 16 to 18 stacks of iron ingots an hour with this farm. Oh, this is a beautiful sight. I won't be doing a block by block tutorial today because it's a lot of block to place, but this farm really is simple, and everything that is could be slightly a problem I will go over with you in detail. Now, how does this farm work? Well, we have my standard villager pod, 4 of them around a tower, you can say, and in there's a mix of solid blocks and soul sand blocks, so the iron golems can spawn on the solid blocks but will have a hitbox that is so big that they will be lifted up by the soul sand, and when they get up here they will be shot through a layer of scaffolding, and we have a layer of water pushing them towards this lava blade right here. Here we have some hoppers leading into some chests collecting the loots. So that's pretty standard stuff. This whole bottom area, in case you're wondering, is exactly the same that I've used in the 16 pot iron farm, so you might recognize it from there. Alright, let's get building. I have opted for having this spawning platform 16 blocks above the ground. You don't need to have it 16 blocks above the ground. What you need to do is to have this layer where the villagers are standing 9 blocks above the ground. Otherwise they're able to spawn in villagers on the ground. So if you put it lower, you will have to spawn proof the ground. If you're building this over water, for instance, you can lower it even further. As you can see, I made a 7 by 7 spawning platform, alternating soul sand and shrimp lights. You can use any solid block in here because there will be water on this, so no other mobs can spawn in here. But if you want to have lights so you can, better watch the golems go up, make sure to use shrimp lights, because if you use sea lanterns, they're actually not spawnable. So either a normal solid block or shrimp light. Because of how scaffolding works and we need to get it out there, we don't want iron golems spawning in here because they get caught on the hoppers. So the first thing you do is you change out the 2 corners here with a non-spawnable block like glass. Then you need to control the water, and you use fence gates to do so. You build up 1, 2, 3 like this, and you open them and you remove that one. And then on the next one you do the same like this, open them and remove that one. Now you can see here when we get to the next one right here and we do the same, you will effectively have a space here where the water can go up all the way, a water column all the way, which means you can have a bubble column here, but you won't have a bubble column in here. So a golem spawning right here will get caught by either one of these or several of these and be pushed up because its hitbox is larger than 1 block. Now it's time to build up the walls, and walls is the operative word right here because you have to use walls. The reason you have to use walls is because If an iron golem spawns here and this is a solid block or a glass block, it's possible for it to glitch through. So you have to use walls. So if you want to make this look better at a later stage, you will have to surround this entire building with another block. Now you have to make this wall right here, the walls of the farm, 17 high, including the one here on the side down here. Okay, let's just stop and take a look at this. If we look at this bed right here, and we look at the scaffolding up here somewhere, the top of this, in a straight line right down there. That's not a straight line, but you know what I mean. It has to be 18 blocks because it's from the feet of the villagers. There has to be 18 blocks. So when the iron golems get up here, they reach the top and are standing there. They are no longer registered by the villagers down here. So in fact up here you can just keep them, or it doesn't matter how long it takes to kill them, it won't affect the rates of the farm. Just to be clear, count up all the corners, 17 including that one, because then if you mess up one of them you will be able to spot it. It's not likely that you will miscount on all four corners, and then you just fill in the sides. We have now surrounded 3 sides with walls, and of course it can be any wall, and what I like to do is to use glass panes right here, and it's not necessary, it's just that it's so satisfying to look at, even though it's a pain to place in survival. There's a trick to placing the scaffolding that I will show you. So this is the 16th block, this is the 17th block, and you have to go 1, 2, 3 right there, and then you need to have a block right there, and then you need to place the scaffolding there, and you do exactly the same on the other side like this, and then you take 2 blocks. It could be slabs as well, but just blocks that the scaffolding can stand on, and then you need to find the middle back here, and here you need to do exactly the same. Put a block right there and then put scaffolding around it. It has to do with how long the scaffolding can prolong itself out without falling down. Then you place a chest right there in the middle, and you place a hopper pointing into it, and you can see you're 1 out from this right here, and you go like this to the corners, and then you go 1 like this, and the same on the other side, and 1 this way. This is to catch the ingots in the corners. So this is how it should look from the top. Then you start off by placing scaffolding here all the way over, and as you can see, if we try this, and remember to be aware of this, if these fall down you have to remove them. If they actually land on a solid block they can't reach, so you'll have to do this from the other side like this, and like this, and you just place scaffolding in the entire area and out here as well, so like this. Now you should have something looking like this, and then we just continue the walls like this. We place a wall here all the way around, and we make it 3 high like this. No, that's wrong. We need this one to place signs on, so if you want to be able to look at the iron golems you have to take out the lower one like this. So it should be looking like this from the inside. Then you place signs on this part right here all the way over. You choose a side and you go not on this block but on this block, and you just place signs all the way over as well. And now you're actually ready to put in the lava blade right here. If you want to, you can wait as well, but it should be going to the corners like this. All this has been fairly easy, I think. Now comes the difficult part. You have to waterlock these like this, and you have to use all of them. Now they're all waterlogged. And as you can see, I can stand on them and I can even shift down, but I can't get further down the way this scaffolding is placed. So now we actually have to get rid of it just temporarily so we can get down and make the water columns in survival. And now it's time to get down here and use kelp and bone meal. And you have to do this on all of the soul sand blocks. Now what I found is that if I place myself in the middle one right here and I do like this with the trapdoor right, the fence gate right there, I'm actually able to reach everyone around here. You can see like this, even the one the furthest away. But in survival, of course, you would be drowning. So if you have any way of having water breathing potions while you do this, it will probably be a good idea. Otherwise, you simply have to go up and down, and then just remember which one you already made. When you have made the last one, I started with the outer rim, then the next rim, and the next rim. Remember that you have to look up on this fence gate right here and open it again. And if everything is right when you go up here, you should be able, and this is why you need to have these away, you need to be able to see that there are full bubble columns on each piece of soul sand. And it seems like it. Right, and then you can put the scaffolding back in its place. You cannot really place the water right here because then you would waterlog it and it would spill out on the other side. So what you need to do is have some kind of temporary block like this, and then just go in here and then place it on the upside of this, and then just remove those again and check that there's no water running out on this side, and the water is running straight to there, and everything is cool. Now we got into the villager and zombie part, and this is my standard villager part that I have built many times, but I will show you how to build one side and the measurements as where it will be, and then you can build the other side just exactly the same, only mirrored. The way you decide where the pot should be, if we look here, you can see it's diagonal like this, and what I do is I go one block down and then I place a slab right there. So let's try and do it over here. So I go one block down like this, and then I need to place a diagonal slab, which of course I can't, so I have to place it there, and then I know that this, and I start off by making a horseshoe, is the pot like that. And then I take glass blocks and I go one. Good example, that was wrong, it needs to be one lower. It needs to be like this. So right there, one down, and then a slab right there. And then you take glass and then you go down 3 like this on this, and then 1, 2, 3, and then you go out 1, and then you make a platform down here of 3 like this. Then the way you place the bed is you come around like this, so the head is pointing into the middle. You place a bed like this, the head is pointing into the middle, and you place a bed like this, the head is pointing into the middle again. And then you just take glass all the way around, but not on this middle one. And now you're ready to put in your villagers. What I would do if I made this farm in survival is that I would make a platform, I would breed them up, and I would let them find the beds themselves. I probably would make the platform in here where I could breed them so they could walk straight out here. I would make a temporary walkway for them, and at night they would go in and find the beds, and when there were 3 villagers in here, I would lock it off by just placing slabs like this. Now they can't come out. But this is creative, so all I have to do is go in here and place them like this. Let's make another pot over here. So we go down like this, and then we go diagonal like this, and we go make a horseshoe like this, and we mirror it, which means that we place down 1, 2, 3 like this, 1, 2, 3, and then we make one here, and we make a 3x3 platform like this, and then we go over here and place the bed this way, and this way, and then we place glass basically wherever we can. So it's like there, but not this way. Then we put in the villagers again, and we slap it off so they can't get out. Now the zombie pot needs to be, can I place blocks? Thank you. It needs to be in the middle, in the middle between those two pots. And actually, if we do something like this, you can go out from one side, and then it's underneath this one. Then you place a block right there, and you can take away these again, like this. When you have that block there where the top part is matching with the roofs of the villager pots, you take a temporary block, or you just use soulsand. You go 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Like this, you can see it's 2 under, and then you remove the temporary blocks like this, and then you start adding the holding chamber around the zombie, and we can do this like that, and then you go up a full block like this, and you start falling down. You start placing this one up there, so it's a full block underneath this, and remove the corners again like so. So this should be the way that the zombie pot looks. There's a soulsand, there's some, it doesn't have to be glass, but any block, and then there's 1 block gap, and these are up here, and 1 block gap. And if we take in the zombie right here, now you can see the zombie bobbing, and you can see if I stand right here, you can see his line of sight is obscured by these blocks, which means that the villagers will actually be allowed to sleep. Now on the other side, you do exactly the same, and just, I won't be doing it on camera, but just to make sure that there are no mistakes, you make a diagonal down here, this one down here, and you make it like horseshoe like this. And then on this side that's towards the farm itself, is where you do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, and then you make a platform of 3 like this. Name your zombie. Unless he's holding an item, you need to remember to use a name tag, otherwise he will despawn when you're not around. Now for the farm to work, all the villagers will have to sleep once to get it started. So let's just make it night, and you should see all of the villagers sleeping. Not all at the same time, but all the beds should be occupied with this setup. So you can see 1 there. That one has been occupied, you know that? That one has been occupied, and that one has been occupied. And then the farm is working. Now, oh yeah, then the farm is working. And the golems are starting to come in. This of course is totally inadequate storage. I've done something like this over there. So whatever kind of storage you need, you want, I will leave that entirely up to you. I just had a thought. Oh, there they went, all 4 of them. Apart from being very cool, and you can look at the golems and stuff like that, and it's always nice with another iron farm. What's the reason for actually having them go up instead of just dropping them down? And the reason is that if you wanted to do something like this with a water stream in the corners pushing towards a hole in the middle and then dropping them down, it would be slower. So that's the efficiency reason for doing it. Besides that, this is super cool and it's different, and you always want to have different iron farms, right? Alright dudes and duchesses, the farm is done. I will leave this in the world download. Don't mind this, don't mind this. Well, these two are the same, hopefully. Don't mind this. This is just something I've been doing to kind of check the size of the spawning platform, how it interacts with each other and stuff like that. I do have one thing here that is an on-off switch, and I just I think it was Kranix from my Discord community who showed me this idea. To turn it off, I have an iron golem going up a water column, and it just fits in this farm. So now this iron golem is in reach of these villagers here, so they say, oh, we already have an iron golem, we don't need to call one, and the farm shuts off. And I leave it in the world download. You can see I use the wall trick so that when something is put there, the middle one extends, and then I have an observer and pushing in a soul sand block down there. You can look at this in the world download if you're interested. Another way, maybe easier way to do it, is to simply use a piston and a lever. Now if I place a block there, remove that one, place it there, and I place a lever right here, I can push this down. The zombie is not taking damage, only his line of sight is blocked, and you can see the villagers on this side are sleeping. And of course you can connect these up in the middle, so you can shut off both of them at the same time. Alright dudes and dudesses, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you liked this farm. If you did, give the video a like, and if you're brand new, subscribe, hit that belly button and all that jazz, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye.